Hello everyone, my name is Sage and welcome to a new playthrough for this channel. And as you can see from the title, the game in question will be Cassette Beasts. This is a very interesting looking monster taming game, maybe a bit inspired from Pokémon. And without further ado, we're gonna jump into the game and see what it's going to be all about. Now rides this knight through the realm into the wilderness of Wirral. Few thereabouts that are god or other with good heart loved. After getting our character customized and all created, it seems we are ready to go through whatever this kind of looking tunnel thing is, and our journey starts in some faraway beach, most probably far away from home as well. I explore around a little while, even find a chest right off the bat with some wood in it, but other than that there doesn't seem to be much we can do at the moment. Pretty quickly though we do find our way into this village where we see this girl and also some kind of monster attacking us immediately.
Hey!
So this segment works as our first kind of a tutorial fight for the game, where this girl gives us this cassette player which will allow ourselves to transform into a monster so we can fight against this crap here. The game gives me kind of two different starter options that will be defining what monster will I start my journey with.
Yeah.
So I chose the upper option and it gave me this tape for a banshee, which allows me to now transform into this monster, which is kind of cool. So yeah, in this game you don't really control a party of monsters, but in fact you transform into a monster yourself, which is very interesting gimmick. Reminds me a little bit of Digimon Frontier season, where the Digidestined transform into Digimon themselves. Here we have the basic, commands we can do in our turn. We can choose our attacks here, and it all depends on how much I have those orange bars below my health meter, that which attacks I can use. So as the smack was the only attack I was able to use, we did that and actually one-shotted the crap out of the way. Then our guy gets some experience, our banshee learns some new attacks. So, as you can see, it's very similar to what we can see in the Pokémon, for example.
I'm Kaylee.
So, Kaylee happily helped us through that struggle and takes us into the village, which seems to be kind of a hub area in the game where we can, find all kinds of stuff. Place to rest, and also merchants and everything, stuff like that around this place. Sounds like we are not the only one who has gotten stranded into this place, and this whole town is just a place for all the people who got lost here to have come together and just kind of try to live and survive in this place, apparently.
On Earth? Sorry. I'm afraid not. Yeah.
Alright, and so we get our first quest. We have to speak to Kaylee at the harbor town's east entrance to go kind of do a little bit of exploration with her. And as she said, we also got some clothing options, so we really quickly customize our character. and then head out. Explore around the town a bit, talk with some NPCs. They have some little kind of extra lore to tell us, but nothing super important at the moment. Apparently there will be an elevator accessible for us here a little bit later on in the game, for at the moment we cannot use it, so we'll just head on to talk to Kaylee and go do some exploration with her.
Hey. Well.
Kaylee gives us a key so we can open up this gate right here and we can start exploring and go checking out the area so we can see what has been the cause of those quakes Kaylee mentioned. So, Kaylee wants us to fight another monster. Looks like it's going to be another little bit of tutorial about things. Here we get informed about the action points, which are those orange bars below in your health meter. And it kinda advises that you need those if you want to do more of your stronger moves. Apparently every monster do have some move they can always use without any action points, but you know it's not going to be anything too strong. So it's always good to kind of gather up those action points throughout the combat and be able to then use the stronger points as well. And of course we get explained about very basic stuff like our health meters. Actually there are 2 health meters in the game. The green one is your monster's HP, and if that goes down, you can transform back to the human, and then the red health bar behind the green health bar is the human's main character's health meter itself, so there's a chance that the human itself can get knocked out after monster has gone out, unless you are able to kind of transform into another monster in the beginning of next turn. But yeah, this was one simple fight as well, to just kind of a little bit more acquainted with the combat.
Yeah.
Next we need to find a lever to activate this elevator, which we do find in time, and we'll be able to move on. And now we have officially unlocked Kaylee as our new partner. There are multiple partners you can take with you whenever you go explore, and Kaylee will be the first one. Also, that allows us to unlock her monster to us, the Sirenade. Basically this means our own character can also use this monster now, so it's kind of good new addition to the party. Pretty much immediately we also get introduced to these kind of bonfire places where we can take a rest in the wilderness when we are exploring, to kind of, you know, heal up our party and just kind of rest up a little bit and have a talk with our partner and all that kind of a good jazz. We do a little bit of a battling here, and then we move on with our exploration. This Kaylee's Sirenade monster has a very good AoE attack that is very strong and hits both enemies at the same time. So that is very, very good to move to have when fighting against multiple monsters at once. We take a short rest here on the bonfire bit and have a little chat with Kaylee. What surprised me a little bit about the resting is that it actually also changes the time of a day. So as we did the resting on the daytime, it now got suddenly all dark, and it looks like we are kind of now exploring in the nighttime this place. I don't know, does that affect anything too much? Does it affect, for example, that will kind of a different kind of monsters appear here, or what? But that is still a change that I notice, and it is quite interesting, definitely. Apparently Kaylee wants to lure that monster towards us, maybe she's thinking that that monster is somehow reason for the quakes or something, I'm not sure. But we shall try and find a way. This game has a lot of different kind of puzzles you have to solve, so it sometimes requires a little bit of thinking and how to solve some specific puzzles, so it's not always just, you know, going about and fighting monsters, but actually demands a little bit of brain activity, which I am notoriously weak at, but will try my best to get all the puzzles solved, of course. Game also gives us a lot of new information every time we get like new status effects, for example in fights like the poisoned, and also there are of course different kind of type matchups in the game as well, which means that different types of monsters are stronger against others, like in a Pokémon as well. Some types attack more effectively against others than, and some are like not very effective moves as well, but it seems to be a little bit more complex in this game, but we'll get to that more into as we move along with the game. After running around a bit, I find this light to activate, and that actually lured the monster towards us, and now we can fight it. Here Kaylee actually gives us tapes, and these are basically Pokeballs of the game that we can use to catch or record new monsters, as the game calls it. Recording them into a tape, and then you can use that tape to transform into the monster yourself. Process of recording a monster is still a bit different than just catching one in Pokemon with the Pokeball. It takes a little while to actually get the recording working. You choose the tape that you want to use, then you use it on the target. But first you want to still weaken up the monster, because as we did start the recording there immediately, you can see that it gave us the percent chance, and that we can then catch. Of course, here in this tutorial it will be automatically be recorded, but in the future when we catch more of these monsters, we want to weaken them a little bit to lower HP. That will boost the percentage chance to get them, and also if we take damage ourselves during when we are recording them, that might lower the chance of actually recording the monster successfully. So there's a lot of things to consider, and it's not just a one-turn thing, so need to be a little bit careful when starting the recording in this game. Yeah, here we have a little bit just about the information about the recording tapes and stuff. But we was also able to now get the new monster, Dominot, to our team, which is always nice to be able to have some more monsters to your party that you can use. And here we have a little bit information about the stickers and moves. So basically all the moves are put to a tape as a stickers, and those then will be the moves that the specific monster can use in a battle. And also another thing different from catching a Pokemon in Pokeball and recording a monster to tape is that the recorded monster doesn't immediately faint or run away or something like that, but we still need to fight it here. So now the game allows us to try out switching to a different tape in the middle of the combat, which of course is possible to do, makes perfect sense. Now that we have already recorded the enemy monster, we can now safely take it out to still get some experience from the battle. After the fight, we start to float randomly in the air, but Kaylee will soon enough explain us what is the reason for that. And as you can see her from her explanation, we got this new ability that we can actually use to travel around the world. So we can get these kind of a new types of ways of to travel and to, you know, explore and find new areas in the game that would otherwise be inaccessible for us. And now we get an update to a quest to accompany Kaylee to the broken pathway, which we can now access with this new gliding ability that we got. Here we also find this lever that will work as a kind of a shortcut, because now we can always, whenever we leave the harbor town, to use that to boost ourselves up here, so we don't have to always go around the same way as we did before. And now we feel what could be one of those quakes the K-League was talking about. So we shall see if we can find what is the reason behind that. First, I decided to head back to the bonfire pit to rest up my party before I continue on, because it kinda looks like we might have some tough fight coming ahead of us. It's just a hunch, you know, based on how the things has been set up here. So just want to be sure that my team is all in good shape before I head on to some possible difficult fight. On the way back up, we ended up into a fight with these two beasts we haven't really seen before in combat. Here we learn once again new kind of a effect between the different types, that air type attacks can uproot plant type targets, which is kinda interesting effect to see. So it's not all just that some attacks are super effective against others, but they actually have these different kind of effects on each other. So that's why it feels maybe a little bit more complex, and there are a lot more things to remember from the type matchups than in Pokémon, for example. I decided I will try to record these monsters to have a little bit more, you know, options to my party. Starting with this snake thing here, which is very low on HP. We have about, at the moment, 50-50 chance to record it. So we'll hope we get it. Just wait a little while here, and alas, we actually succeed, thankfully, and get this pretty cool looking snake Carny Viper added to our collection. Recording the other monster actually didn't go through on the first attempt, but on the second attempt we got the 99% chance to be able to actually catch it, and then we are successfully able to record it as well. So we had to use 3 tapes to catch these 2 monsters, which is a little bit of maybe a waste, because later on I learned that getting new tapes is not that easy in this game. But nonetheless, we still got these 2 new monsters added to our team, so I'm still pretty happy with that. And then we just finish off the dandelion here and are able to then move on, hopefully to see actually what is happening with the main objective of this quest that we are in.
What?
So, randomly a random structure appeared before us, and now our objective is of course to go inside and explore what is it going to be all about.
Huh?
It's kinda interesting to run into a train station in this world that we are in, because, you know, this world definitely doesn't feel like anything too modern enough to have a train station in it. So I'm not sure exactly what is going on here, but we'll explore and see what we can find here.
No. Oh no.
So, suddenly we are thrown into a fight against something called Archangel. It is level 100 and it's looking very dangerous. It doesn't have much HP though, so I guess it's in some way weakened or damaged with something that has happened in the past that we don't know about. I have honestly no idea what is going to happen here, but I guess we just need to fight, try our best, and hope we don't get one-shot by this thing. Here we get a little bit information about the Archangels themselves. So they don't actually spend action points usually, but they actually accumulate them over time. And then if they reaches to 10, then they can attack us with so strong move that it probably can take us out. So we have to be very careful here.
I refuse!
Suddenly, a power of friendship breaks through, I guess, and we fuse together, which I definitely was not expecting. Fusion happened. When your goals are aligned with all of those your companion, you can fuse to become singular more powerful beast. So this was just a very power of friendship anime moment that we got in this very tight situation, which kinda makes sense, and it's kinda cool thing definitely to see. It was a little bit clutch, but we still got the fight done. I don't know if that fight is actually even possible to lose. Is it designed so that you will always win it with the fusion anyway? That the fusion cannot get knocked down in single attack? Not sure. Whatever the case, we still got it done and are able to survive.
Enough! Very well.
We safely return to Harbor Town to collect our thoughts.
Archangels. Well... Sorry. Sorry. Yeah! You and I!
And with that, our relation apparently goes up with Kaylee, and now we can use fusion with her anytime we are partnered with her. As we unlock new partners as well throughout the game, we can build up relationship with them as well to be able to fuse with other guys, I think, as well. Here we have a little bit information about the relationship levels. And thus we get the first quest complete. This is the world we live in. And new quest, Land of Confusion, where we need to locate more of these archangels to complete the Morgantes song. Apparently that will be like the big main objective to, you know, beat the game itself. For the next quest, we would need to go find the leader of the Rangers to get some training from them, so we could become stronger with the help of them, so we will be able to beat more of those archangels apparently. And now that we can move freely again, we will head out of the tavern and immediately run up to this guy.
So unreasonable. Yeah. Thank you. Hey. The name's Eugene.
And thus we agreed to help this guy, to meet him up in the outskirts to deal with those apparently bad guys. This guy will also be a new partner we can unlock if we go do that quest, so it will be pretty good to go do that at some point. But other than that, we are more or less done with the first episode for today. We got a lot of new main quests here, as you can see. And we are pretty much free to choose which one we will want to go do first. I think on the next episode we're gonna start with the acting on your best behavior quest to meet the Eugene in the outskirts and you know, try to see if we can unlock him as a partner with that. And yeah, that's going to be all for today's episode as said. Let's continue here from on the next time. Thank you for watching this episode of my Cassette Beasts playthrough. If you enjoyed this part, remember to like the video, comment down any thoughts you might have below in the comment field about the game, or if you have any other comments in mind, let me know. Of course, if you're new viewer here, remember to subscribe to support the channel. And as always, I will see you all with the future videos. For now, it's bye bye.